Hey, this is Carrie from Wrap Your Head Around Silks. This is the Expecting Aerialist podcast, now with the Dish Network. How's it going, guys? Hope you're having a wonderful week. Before we get started, in the show notes, check out wrapyourheadaroundsilks.com. We have a lot of stuff going on. So rolled out weekly foam rolling virtual 60-minute live class. Monday and Thursday nights, we hit the floor together. I would love to see you there and meet you in person on Zoom. We have a beginner to intermediate full course online, as well as aerial rehab and a mini course. I would love to see you guys online. All right, today we have Claudia Torkelson. She is the mama of 4 kids. She is a Pilates instructor and co-owner of Aerium in San Antonio, Texas. We talk about her balancing act and about opening a studio during the pandemic. All right, my friends, let's get started.
How old is she?
Oh, she's 4.
4, okay.
She's 4, and we had a really busy morning already. Actually, this Saturday was the recital for our studio.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. So I had students going up, all the nerves, the setup, the tech. And then Sunday was daylight savings time.
Yes.
And Papa came home.
Do you guys do daylight savings time?
Yes, unfortunately.
Then Papa came home.
Oh yeah. And then her, my partner was out of town and he just came home. Oh, and my partner decided to go out of town to do
I miss Papa.
During that
to
weekend,
do things we needed to do, but did it have to be that weekend?
I miss
that's
I
hard.
miss Papa.
Just wondering if that was 100% necessary. But
Right.
daylight savings time, and then she has preschool on Monday, of course. So we did the drop off, we just did the pickup, and here we are.
There we go.
I almost cried,
But you know that because you're a mama of how many? 4?
4.
I cried. I cried it. I cried it in the car.
You didn't cry in the car. You said you wanted to cry after preschool today, right? Hey, can I ask Claudia questions? Okay. Claudia, would you just for our listeners just introduce yourself, a little bit about your business, your aerial practice, and your family?
So my name is Claudia Torkelson, in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm a mom of 4. I have 2 older grown kids from my first marriage, and I have 2 little ones because I started all over again. So I have they're pretty spread out. Like I have a 29-year-old, a 25-year-old, and then an 8-year-old, and a little girl who just turned 7 this week. And I'm one of the owners of the Aerium. Me and my business partner own the Aerium. We have all kinds of, aerial acrobatics at our studio, and have a Pilates studio in the back. And we've been open. We just had our 3-year anniversary last month.
Oh my goodness. You do not look old enough to have a 20-what-year-old?
29-year-old. Thank you.
You do not look old enough to have a 29-year-old. May I ask you how old you are?
I'm 49.
Okay. Can you do that math for me?
So yeah, I was 20. I had him when I was 20. And I started young and had my first 2 really early. And now I really enjoy being a mom. And if I hadn't, if my body hadn't
you would have more.
No more, I would have probably had another baby. I would probably have more.
62.
Am I 62? No, I'm going to be 47 this year, though. 47 in May.
I don't like
This is Ariel's a fountain of youth, apparently.
It is, because I did not think you're 47.
Yeah. Okay, let me do it. So, Claudia, 4 kids, and you're a studio owner with a partner. I do want to get into how you're balancing it all. I want to get into you as a mom. But what brought you guys to start Aerium? I want to know the origin story.
Well, yeah. So Dara Minkin is my business partner. We were both, we're both employed over at Aerial Studio here in San Antonio. And she was my coach. She was one of my coaches. And I started teaching there in 2018. I started teaching in 2019, I'm sorry. And then 2020, COVID happened, everything shut down, and the studio closed pretty quick. And then when it closed, pretty much the whole, like, San Antonio only had one aerial studio. So it was just, there was nothing. And so, everybody was trying to get rigs and do it in their backyard. And my business partner was able to secure space like it at a basketball stadium. So she was teaching there, and I was teaching some lessons in my backyard and just training myself there. And then we had an opportunity to, she was looking to get into a space, and my business my Pilates studio that I had was kind of like just not doing as well, after COVID, when everything kind of came back to life, it was just, there was nothing, my business was tanked. And so I thought, well, I'm going to try something new and try this. And I told her I'd go in on it. We were like literally getting our nails done because our birthdays are like back to back. And so I was treating her to a pedicure. We're both getting a pedicure, and we're talking about it. And she said, I found a space. I think I like it. And she showed it to me. And I said, well, if you want to go in together, I'll do it with you. And that's where it was born.
Sorry, I'm just like shoving food in my face over here.
No, you're okay. I did that in the car on the way over here.
Wow. And so how's the ride been?
It's been great. It's been really good. We were really good friends, me and my business partner. We were really good friends before that. And like I said, she was also my coach. And it's, we do things, a lot the same way. And it's been great. We have a lot of students because we had a lot kind of come with us, and we've got a lot of new students, a lot of new kids. I'm kind of more the hard. I do silks and I do sling, but I do like a little bit of everything. But my business partner is more of the silks person. So I kind of say I'm the hard apparatus person. I started on Lyra, and I do flying pole, but I still do silks and everything, straps and stuff. But yeah, so I'm kind of heading the hard apparatus program and the children's program, which, since I have kids, it's kind of, a no-brainer for me to be in charge of that.
Yeah. So what I've heard is that, like, because I live in LA, right? And it's a different situation, but like all across the country, people are so excited to learn aerial. Like, it's really grown, right?
Oh, it has caught on like crazy. I think part of it is YouTube. Like, I always ask people, especially the kids, like their parents call and they're like, I've got to get it into aerial, and I'm like, where did you hear about us? And they're like, well, my daughter just downloaded YouTube and started watching videos on YouTube, and we looked you up, and you popped up. But that, I think, is at least amongst the younger kids, it's YouTube just driving it, and they're seeing some of these really popular aerialists out there that are kids, and they're doing it, and everybody wants a rig in their house, or everybody wants to do lessons, and it's really growing.
Yeah, that's what I hear from people all across America. Hey, please don't eat that. On side, don't eat that. So, okay, so how do you do this? So two of your kids are adults, and I'm assuming they have their lives, kind of separately from you and smaller ones.
Yeah, it's a little more complicated. Just to touch real quick on it, one of my sons, he's in North Dakota. He went to school and he stayed up there. My 25-year-old, but my 29-year-old, my oldest, he actually has severe mental illness that he got when he was 18. So he suffers from schizophrenia. And he lives here in San Antonio in an assisted care facility. And I go see him every week and have lunch with him and take him, little things and snacks and things that he needs. But I also have that's, an additional thing, responsibility.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then you have two that are home with you who are elementary school aged.
Right. And that gets a little more complicated too, because my 8-year-old, he's at school. He goes to Montessori, and my 6-year-old, well, she just turned 7. I decided to homeschool her this year.
Wow, you are so brave. Okay, please continue.
So yeah, it's actually been going really great. There was an online program that I started her with at the beginning of the year, and it didn't really work out. It was a little too structured for me. I'm not like a super structured person. I'm a little bit more laid back, so it was difficult for me to keep up with. So I picked and choose the curriculum that I like, and we're doing that. We'll drop off my 8-year-old at school, then we'll come home and homeschool until around 11:30 or so, and I get ready and go to my private clients that I see, or do my own training or whatever it is that comes after that. And then while she's at her activities in the afternoon, that's when I kind of do my administrative work. So it's kind of
Okay.
worked out.
Okay. Yeah, that is a schedule though. So how many hours are you with clients during the day? Like either classes or Pilates?
So usually I might have like a 2 Pilates clients. Probably about 2 Pilates clients, or Pilates or aerial clients, just private clients during the week, like 2 a day. And then on the weekend is when I teach my classes. I don't do classes during the week, really, not at this point, because the kids are so busy doing stuff. So I usually do classes on the weekends, and I'll usually do like 2 classes and a private client.
Okay, and then you homeschool, then are you doing pickup as well? Yeah, you're doing pickup as well.
I am doing pickup. Sometimes I get lucky and my husband will be off of work or going later, and he'll be able to do drop off, which just helps my sanity a little bit. But pickup, yeah, I usually do pickup because my kids are real busy in their activities at this age. So my older one, he goes, sometimes the grandparents help out and they'll take him to karate or whatever, and gymnastics. And my daughter is heavily into gymnastics. She's on competitive gymnastics team, and she dances and she does aerial on the weekend. So that's why I decided to homeschool her.
Claudia, you guys took this studio on not that long ago, so you were obviously already in the hustle and bustle of your life. Did it make it, like, how are you doing this, and how would you advise other people to do the same? Like if you were to give somebody who wanted to do that advice?
Well, one of the big things I like to remind myself, and I've always tried to remind myself as a mom, since I've been a mom like most of my life, right? Is just, of course you want to do everything for your kids that you can, but also make time for yourself. Keep time for yourself, for your own sanity, because you can really just, get so involved, especially when they start getting really into sports and their own activities. It's really easy to lose yourself as a woman or a parent. It's really easy to lose track of your own goals and your own identity. So keeping that time for yourself, whether it's for, to do a class or to do your own training or something, have at least, a little bit of time each day to work on yourself. And I think that really helps me when I can fit that in.
Yeah, because you guys are scheduled are you a 6-day-a-week scheduled, or 7 even?
It's 7 days, but there are some days like maybe, like, for instance, Thursday I don't really Thursday and sometimes Tuesday I don't really have clients, so that's like my weekend, and I get to train more. Like, those are the days where I get a luxurious training of like 3 hours instead of a rush training. I get to kind of spread it out.
That's better than me.
And
I
then,
don't get a 3-hour training for sure ever.
yeah, and I try to have that, and that's when I kind of invite like friends of mine also to train with me, because I feel like it kind of inspires me a little bit if I can invite one of my friends to train with me, and we can kind of foam roll and talk a little bit, and then get right to it and start our workout. Yeah.
I also feel like, for me, I don't feel the need to like make plans, like air quotes, with friends to be social during the week, because I'm being social during the week. It doesn't feel like I'm missing that. And even a better plus, okay, let me rub it. Even a better plus that I am actually working with my friends, so that, it's like you don't necessarily need to be like, oh, we're going to go out somewhere. Like, no, we're just in the studio together.
Exactly. And you're still hanging out and spending time together, and it still gives you that outlet, Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. And like I said, I only get those long workout days like once or twice a week, but it's still, I love it. Those are like the days where I really try to focus on on getting the best workout. And the other time it's just like I can grab 15 minutes here, 30 minutes here, maybe an hour there, but
Yeah, I mean,
hard.
even one, 2 or 3 hour block a week, like if I could get that, that would change my life significantly, I think.
As she's in school longer, I think you'll be able to hopefully squeeze in a little bit more time for yourself. But there were definitely some years in there where it was like,
Right,
there's no time.
right.
When they're sitting on your lap like that.
I had my ringer on because this is the only time I've ever done this. It was freaking, what's it called? The recital. And then also daylight savings time. So this is the only time I've ever done this. I dropped her off to preschool and I lay down for a nap because I was just dying.
Oh, yeah.
And I had my ringer on because I was like, I cannot miss pickup. But it made me feel worse.
Oh, just having that it was too short. You need like a 3-day nap. After the showcase, right?
And then not only that, I had a nightmare about not picking her up on time during my sleep.
Oh no!
But it was still worth it. I had overall. What?
Why?
I know. Can you let me talk to her? I know.
It's so boring. I think I want to sleep. I'm dying of this podcast.
You're dying of this podcast? Listen, you can go lay down, but you have to wait till I'm done, okay? It's not going to be very much longer. Just like 15, 20 more minutes, okay?
Why?
I'm going to ask you a question, then I'm going to mute myself. So let's go to your motherhood stuff. Obviously, you have some family stuff going on, but like, can you think back to prenatal, postpartum, the pregnancies themselves, recovering, getting back into your workout regimen? If you have anything that you'd love to share.
Yeah. So with my first two, I was so young. I was just a mom. Like I didn't really do anything until like my second one was about 3 years old or so. And I would put him down for a nap and I started doing yoga. And I just spent like, kind of make my own routine. And I did like an hour of yoga every day and I felt great doing that. And then I got bored. I ended up doing Pilates after that. I learned Pilates and I became a Pilates instructor and it just kind of grew from there. I was a personal trainer. So I've been coaching for about over 20 years. I've been coaching. And so when my younger two were born and I was pregnant with them, I really wanted to stay in shape because I was in really good shape when I had Elijah. I had been powerlifting. I was doing yoga, Pilates, just everything. I had done bikini competitions. And then when I decided to remarry and have another baby, I tried to stay in the same kind of shape that I was in. So I lifted all throughout my pregnancy. I was fortunate enough to have a really healthy pregnancy. And unfortunate, but I mean, of course I was still blessed. Everything was fine, but I ended up having to have an emergency C-section on baby number 3. And that kind of came out of nowhere. I felt pretty devastated because I had such a good pregnancy up until then, but everything went fine and he was healthy. But that of course was like 8 weeks setback to me. I felt like, cause I hadn't really taken any time off from lifting weights and working out. So it was hard, but I started walking as soon as I could, just walking on the treadmill, walking with the stroller. That helped me get moving again. And then as soon as I was able to, probably about a month in, I started doing like body weight stuff, just really, really light, really easy, nothing that was going to strain me at all. And as soon as I got to the eight week mark, I was given the go ahead to start, really working out again. And I slowly built myself back up. And that kind of carried over into baby number 4, because I had a miscarriage in between 3 and 4, but when I got pregnant with Stella, I had a pretty rough time compared to the boys, because I had 3 boys and then her. And with that last pregnancy, I was really sick, really, really sick. So I couldn't work out as much. It was like night and day. I was really sick. But afterwards, I felt so amazing because I wasn't sick anymore. And I just went, I was able to go back and I was able to have a VBAC with her.
Oh.
So I didn't have to have a C-section with number 4, which was amazing. And I had great doctors and everything was safe and everything went well. And I started doing Pilates probably on like 4th day after having her. I mean, very gentle, but like little, bridge tucks and tucking the pelvis, and like very, very simple kind of things to kind of build myself back up. I started that right away. And honestly, I think out of everything you could do, I would say to build back up after pregnancy, Pilates is one of the best things that you can do for your body, especially when you're all just, after 4 kids.
Yeah. Pull it all back. Pull it all back
Exactly.
in.
Pull it all back together.
What would what would you suggest for women who are dealing with diastasis recti, any pelvic floor prolapse? Do you have any go-to exercises that you love? Obviously, it's different when you're working one-on-one, and this is a podcast, so it has to be more for everyone. But
Right, exactly. I would definitely stay away from any planks or anything like that, any crunches, but doing things where you're like trying to brace, like things on your back when you're in, a bridge, or maybe lifting a leg up, and those type of things would be better, where you're kind of flat and pulling everything in tight. Definitely the Pilates reformer, if you have access to a reformer, that it's a real gentle way, because you're lying flat and you're pushing with your arms or with your legs, and you're not having to crunch up necessarily, or get into a plank that might strain yourself even more.
Yeah, did you have any separation that was more than what you could handle?
I didn't, fortunately. I'm surprisingly, with my first 2, I think maybe youth was on my side.
Right.
I didn't have any issues, but with my second 2, both of them I was over 40. When I had both of them, same as you. It's hard. I feel like it's harder on your body for sure, having babies at over 40. But yeah, I feel like just keeping myself in good shape throughout the pregnancy, but not overdoing it, because I researched a lot, and there's not a lot out there really. I mean, I did as much research as I could, but I still was like, I mean, I called up like people at the gym that I knew were like, had kids and had, were incredible athletes, and trying to get everybody's opinion, like, what should I do? What should I do? And, basically I just was like, okay, if it's safe for my body, I'm going to keep doing the weight training. I'm going to keep doing the Pilates, but not doing anything, where you're doing like sit-ups or resting on your belly over a certain point, things like that. But I still was able to do quite a bit, and I think that helped me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just having that Pilates background and having that knowledge, I think, is just, I'm Pilates as well.
Oh yeah.
Like, just having that foundational knowledge just helps you to like make good choices when you're actually in the exercise. Like, if you're out there working out on your own, that knowledge is so important. Yeah. And then if you have any advice for any aerialists out there who might want to open their own studio, what would you say to all those people across the world?
One of the things that I have enjoyed doing, because I'm the kind of person who just talks to everybody. I love to talk. I love to network and just talk to everyone. I did a lot before we opened, just in building relationships with other small businesses, especially like other female-owned businesses. And I feel like I kind of had established a little bit on my own to try to get the business started. Like, for instance, there's a pole studio that I was already starting to go to, and they were really wonderful to us, and we had a good relationship with them. And they were really supportive of us when we opened up. They let me start teaching some workshops there, some Lyra workshops, because they didn't offer Lyra. So I did a couple of year Lyra workshops, and it kind of helped garner some interest for my studio. And that was really nice of them, just kind of talking to people, I know that Dara had her fabric students that she had at the other facilities where she was leasing space. And she brought those people with you. So I feel like if you can kind of get the interest going before you open up, then you've already got some clients and some people ready to go and follow you.
Yeah, and it's such a different town than what I live in. Like in LA, we have so many studios. Well,
Really?
I think a couple of them ended up closing because of the pandemic. But we're left with Joel Franklin Studios in the city. We have something
Right.
called the Aerial House. The Aerial House is the two owners were students of the Loft, where I work.
Uh-huh.
Womack and Bowman, the Loft. Yeah, you are balancing it so well. We have a lot of studios here. You guys have a different type of situation because, so the community there in San Antonio, do you feel like it's bigger than just your studio? Are there professionals that live there as well?
We do have, not as big as Austin.
Okay, yeah.
Not as many as Austin. I feel like Austin has more of the kind of circus professionals. But we do have a few, that we all, it's still just a small performing community, we all get called for like the same, by the same companies pretty much. We can't like be exclusive to one company because there's there's not that much work. So we have to go, there are different companies. There's probably actually more entertainment companies than there are aerial studios in San Antonio.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting.
It is interesting. I think there are a lot of people who come in like they want to be on the other side, they were performers or they just want to open up their own, entertainment company and not be necessarily Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, Claudia, I love it. Like
I need a poo-poo.
Oh my God, she's really having go poo-poo. And
do you do aerial?
Poo-poo.
Okay.
Oh, she's gonna poo-poo. Okay.
To the lady.
Well, you just told it to the world. I might or might not edit that out. Go poo.
Make that.
Go. Claudia, I loved having you on here. I'll definitely link your studio in the show notes and stuff so people can check it out. If you're in the San Antonio area, check out Aerium.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness.
I love talking to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Claudia, for joining me. I know you're a busy, busy woman, so thank you for carving out the time. Listeners, if you would honor me with a 5-star rating and a review, it means so much to me. If you'd like to check out Greener Grass, a podcast with Kelly McVeigh, she's my co-host. We talk about a lot of things on there. We have a lot of fun. If you just want to hear the sound of my voice every week more than once. And check out wrapyourheadaroundsilks.com. Lots of free resources there for you guys. Lots of very specific resources there. So I'd love to see you. I'd love to see you on Zoom for Roll It Out every week as well. All right, my friends, have an amazing week. Over and out. This is Carrie from Wrap Your Head Around Silks. This is Expecting Aerials.